Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so September 11th, September 11th, meeting called to order. Starting with roll call. So I'll start. John, Mark, Chair.
Chuck LaSalle.
Laura Robertson,
Robert Long, Carol Carey,
Cliff Bodie.
Tony Doherty. Jeff Corbin. Amanda Matusek.
Okay, so first we have two sets of meetings, two sets of minutes to go over. So first there's the minutes from June 12th, which I guess has been done over the 10th on June, the July meeting, but we did not have a quorum to approve it. So does anyone have any comments on those minutes? Mm-hmm.
7. A tree near the proposed demolished. I think it's missing something.
It's if you take out that phrase there, it says a tree near the a tree near the proposed to be demolished might need to be removed for grading the ponds. Near the proposed what, I guess is the question.
It's the proposed parking area for the dealership.
oh, home to be demolished. Yeah,
Proposed home,
yeah.
wait, a tree near the proposed home, yeah.
Belongs to.
But this
Yeah,
was about
the
the
house.
dealership.
There's a house they're gonna
Yeah.
take down.
Yeah. The-
To be demolished, yeah.
Okay,
got
okay.
it.
Just couldn't.
This is a very small point, but might as well fix it. My name does not end in Owen, it's an AN. So it should probably know the members present.
Is it?
JONATHAN.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that, which is your last name. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll fix that there.
Did have a couple small things. Lines 71 through 74. Both of those are talking about the Japanese tree lilac. We just merge those into one bullet point.
Mhm.
Is it lilac? Japanese lilac or Japanese lilac?
Good question.
Japanese tree line. That's what I see.
What you asking, is it correct to say tree lilac?
Yeah.
You know, it would make sense the other way, but the one we have. Yeah, it was called.
It is tree lilac.
Okay. Line 89, I wasn't at the July meeting.
Tree, lilac tree. Lilac tree. From Japan.
Line 89 is a little funny, so this I sticking all over in favor, I. Do it? And this was cute, this is nice, I guess you can leave it if you want, but the fact that that they really appreciated their cookies.
Oh, I know. I thought that was peculiar. But
Appreciate the
Yeah, I
cookies.
just thought more meeting minutes. It's just-
Should we say we're a big hit? It's just we're a hit. Well, I
Yeah.
we're trying to build some strong relationship through their,
There's. Yeah.
What he was bringing.
It is.
That was my
So
first.
then I have something this morning, was it 156? I just circled, let me read it again. Highway Department water truck. Oh, right, this is, okay. Continue advocating for the Highway Department to use a water truck, parentheses, potentially the one built by Schenectady County Soil and Water. Right, isn't it correct? The Schenectady County Soil and Water didn't build one for us, right? They just have a water tank we can put on it. On a truck even.
If it's in the truck.
It's in
Okay. That's it then for me.
Actually, my name too is, it's on the beach. too.
Right?
ROHD.
One line, 159 Blatnick, that's misspelled. N-I-K, it's missing a C, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Right.
because the AI, so you really have to watch the minutes for name, proper noun, yeah, because I was fixing some Blatniks, but I probably didn't.
Oh, back to John's. I understand what you're saying. To use a water truck with really like a water tank.
Right.
No watering.
So we
Yeah,
can
if you
keep it
build
to
a
water
truck,
tank.
Yeah,
Hey,
gotcha.
So we should just change the word truck to tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'd be pretty nifty
Continue
if they
advocating
could
the fire
drop
department to
all this,
use,
right?
advocating the fire department to use a water truck with a tank like the one built.
That is all tanks should be out.
That's the one.
Winter conditions, the sycamores along the street appear to be struggling possibly due to winter conditions. Not sure about the word winter. Seeing as how it's June.
And drought's usually the problem.
Wait, what line?
151.
Due to drought conditions or due to.
Just stop it struggling.
Oh, no, it was because the winter was so harsh on them that, I mean, they got plenty of water in the spring, but they actually came out that way. The winter was cold this last winter. It killed a bunch of the tops of some of the early trees.
Maybe we should clear.
Due to the harsh winter conditions,
Mm,
previous winter conditions.
previous harsh winter.
Yeah. Because I'm the one that said that. I watched them come out in the spring and they were really good in the fall of last year, and then the spring they definitely had taken a hit.
Where are those trees? Just out of curiosity.
They're right over
Crazy.
there. Yeah.
Still going.
If they don't have more comments, then we can meeting minutes, and I guess we can,
I know.
on favor?
I wasn't here.
Okay.
They record
You say
the eye.
yes?
Yes.
I just said, it's just eight, say aye.
I don't think I mean, I was here. I was not on the council.
Oh, at that time.
So seven, nice. Your abstention.
Well, we have a majority.
So we voted to approve it, 7 of us said aye, and 3 did.
Thank you. I didn't attend the building inspector out on it after. Okay.
Okay, so now we come to the minutes of July 10th.
Name of members present, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't there.
You're also on the,
We're
not
all
there.
absent.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
And again, they're my name, again, shouldn't be KN. if I want to-
Okay, or, yeah, perfect.
And Rhodey is.
Okay, yep.
I'm not listed as present, but apparently I abstained from the vote, so I must have been there. I don't remember.
Oh. Yeah, Jeff's name isn't on there anyways.
Yeah, no, you were definitely at that meeting.
I think he was appearing as Amanda.
That's right.
Yeah, the understore is for two.
So we'll strike a man.
The star.
Okay. We can have any other editorial comments? So, the motion to approve,
I'm.
Second.
all in favor?
I,
Okay. That brings us to the next. Oh, yeah, okay, so, sorry. There isn't any privilege of the floor, I take it.
I didn't get anything for privilege of the floor.
Anyone think about wanting to become chair? Your real job?
Skipping out on us.
What?
You skipping out on us.
I just think it's, some, many people say that'd be a much better chair than I would be. It'd be pretty good. I'm kind of like an interim chair.
I think
And
for
mine
several
is-
years.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with how active you are. So, you've done a job, man.
That's what, do you have any children?
Yeah.
Well, last time when I said this, Linda did this, and I at least serve on reading center. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Where's that? Where's out in January?
Okay. All right, so, got,
I'm trying to make that bigger. I feel like
all right, new business actions.
it normally fills up the whole screen.
So you can make it bigger up there at the top where it has a percentage, up on the right-hand side where it says 78% or something,
There's also a
way up top.
Oh, that exited. Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. Okay. I know that wasn't what you were saying, but. Okay, so last time we looked at this, we were just looking at the site plan and didn't have a landscaping plan yet. And so we just gave them general comments. And the planning board approved it, contingent on you guys approving the landscaping plan. So I know that I sent you guys the packets really late and I apologize for that. I just read the species list, so we'll just go back quickly for a couple people who weren't here. So GE, so there's kind of two sections that they're changing. We already approved this side. Can you see my cursor? This side was already approved by us at the outdoor patio. That was very cool. And we also actually approved the landscaping for the DAC building, but they want to change this parking lot and put it in front of the DAC building here. So they're getting rid of that circle and putting the parking lot in front of the building, which is fine because they only had like 2 or 3 trees in front of the building. And then they take that parking lot and make it into a nicely landscaped area that connects to the patio. And then in the back, the changes are pretty small. Oops. This is like the existing sidewalk, and they're adding a little more parking and tightening the sidewalk up, and then you'll see they're planting a little bit in the back. So that's where the old circle parking was. They've got trees, and then they have these very specific planting beds, which we can go over, and then trees along the DAC building, more trees here. So this is actually quite a lot more trees than we looked at before. I just did a quick run of the species and they put the cage in me. Oh, that's trees. Trees. Over here. I think there's actually two sections. Yeah, we can look at those a little more. So they've got ferns, sedges, and I think those are for the little triangles. But their actual trees are, oops. Canadian serviceberry, shagbark hickory, tulip poplar, American hawthorn bean, scarlet oak, little leaf linden, New Jersey, and then they get into their bushes. Yeah. But I think those are
Right.
yes, all on our
So the Woolly Linden isn't, but it's all over GE. too.
yeah, that's the one that they have on the research. Yeah. New Jersey tea, summer sweet, and spice bush are also really great choices for the marketing. They have little blue stem Jess.
I know, there are just no grasses in there.
208 of them. So. And this stuff too, goat's beard, milkweed, coneflower, big leaf aster, white blazing star, goldenrod, white clover's root. I think those are all native.
Yep.
Oh, it's good.
They look good. They look- No, they're not.
It's awesome. So it's generic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Hudson O'Neill actually hires a landscape architect.
Gorgeous, right?
And you guys have given them comments that shape their landscaping plan, and they are the best listeners that we have ever had.
Oh,
Because this is the third iteration, and they just keep using what you guys use it for. And
Nice.
So
Beautiful.
another thing is in the back, they're adding just a couple trees here. Couple little trees. I think those are service berries. And then they have a very fancy garden, two fancy gardens up there. And then just looking at the fancy garden beds. It's the whole point is they're trying to make it like a campus feel, and so they want these to be like different colors and different seasons. And so that's their planting, and like so that's just a zoom in of the ones that we were already looking at. You know, I think last time I had the renderings, I didn't put them in the packet this time, but they're kind of going for, yeah, they had even in the winter it being interesting. So,
It's so great. They're going for diversity.
yeah.
Mhm.
And their planting details looked okay, and their seeding, they're using their Ernst seeds, which I think we also asked them to do, so. You guys would need to formally approve this according to the planning board resolution. It is a lot of planting. I didn't identify anything that was concerning, because they're basically taking more pavement out and putting more trees, so it's.
Yeah.
Still have
Any
plants,
concern?
Super huge
It was
trees
that really big trees last time. Yeah,
along the DAC building.
I don't know where, but remember they didn't want it to take years to make it look.
Oh, I'm still saying that. I did warn them. I may have convinced them that that's not the greatest choice. Yeah, super big, actually planted trees. Yeah, I thought you meant like growing.
No,
trees.
no.
Yeah, I know, because they wanted to have an impact immediately. Yeah, I did tell him. Maybe we'll scale it back because they're planting more now. We'll see.
Yeah, when they transplant the trees, to make the ball and burlap, they cut them out of the ground. So the bigger the tree is, the more they lose. So they get transplanted in the ground in a new place with only like 10 or 20% of the roots that they had to be that big. Because the roots have to support the leaves and the leaves have to support the roots. Cut out all the roots and it transport itself and the leaves die back. And the tree struggles, it takes years and years to build the roots back and support its huge canopy. So it's a whole
Figure it
study
out.
done or going out. No, it's not. No, not that for that reason, but there's these studies saying, you know, bigger trees can take like 15 years to catch up to the smaller ones.
Yeah, within like 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
the small ones will get as big as
Yeah,
the,
the big one, they'll surpass.
and then they surpass them because the big one is still traumatized.
Say something about not planning. Thanks.
We did talk about that last
Last
time.
time,
I
yes.
did tell him that,
Terms of, and this is all maybe, but can we, can we say that as part of the guidance to the town board or the planning board?
if this is true, I mean, they're big. 3-inch caliper is big, but it's not. That's about the max that you get from Northern Nurseries. It's not like spading out a tree. Yeah. We plant 3-inch caliper trees.
If you want to go buy a really big tree, it'd be really expensive. So people wouldn't naturally do it to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
But we could put an advisory note on it again. That we
Be
recommend
careful, don't need to.
do the smaller ones.
But
Yeah,
the 3-inch ones
more
are
care.
okay.
they're okay. Those are big. The
Yeah,
3-inch ones
still,
are like the size of the sycamores.
Sycamores,
Yeah,
they
they
didn't do well either.
didn't do so well.
Well, but we do
Diameter,
pay
surface.
attention. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they need to pay
Yeah.
attention.
Actually, we did have someone that take care of them.
Well, yeah, anonymously.
Anonymously.
We all know.
Okay, so I'll put the note on that. Lower than 3 inches recommended.
Take care of it. The figure on consent use. From the Cornell study that shows how the little trees surpass the big ones. Neat study.
Maybe you could provide that
To them.
link to them.
If you send
Right.
it to me, I can send it. The
Right,
guy at
right.
GD Vernova, it's very easy
Okay.
to work with.
This is a
I can email it him along with our recommendation.
Mm,
Cornell tree planting guy.
They have been so good at listening to us, so I think they're actually paying attention.
Now I have to
Doesn't always
maintain them.
happen.
No, that wasn't-
No, there's so many that they're planting.
They hire services usually.
Mhm.
So hopefully they'll do that.
And you're talking about literally thousands of these
Yeah.
pollinator species.
They're pretty good on their own once they get in,
Yeah, they are.
but they have to get in and.
Well, maybe. we can have some. Oh, yeah, I didn't.
That's it.
Yeah, I think so. too.
Well, after they complete, work, perhaps we should, think about doing something similar, recognizing them like we did with the 32, right?
Yeah.
Idea.
Maintain them, yeah. I mean, like, we waited until Price Chopper,
Correct.
yeah,
Yes,
maintained
yes.
them, but I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so just keep that on our,
Yeah.
go in, yes.
I said all around town, if you wanted to go walk the park and fix this.
Will they invite the tree council to?
You
See
do
if they
have
finished
to
the
make
audit.
it past a guard check, but I believe they probably would. Yeah. They're pretty proud of what they're doing
Yeah.
there, and if we organize it, I believe they would be open to award and a showcase of what they planted, yeah. I know, the planning board was really excited about that outdoor patio, and they were wondering if it would ever be rentable, and GE said no. They would, I think they would, cause the planning board's gone in and out of that site a couple of times, so I think that.
Planting in this spring?
That's a good question. It probably would be in the spring. If it's a very warm fall and because the buildings are done, so, but I mean, it's still a lot of work to do all that asphalt and all that stuff, and of course, the plantings always come last, so. Yeah, 100% sure. They're moving though.
Should we make?
Yeah, so I guess we're ready to approve this, right? Should you approve this?
I think you have to say it.
Aye.
Sorry, dot, dot, dot.
Make a motion that we formally approve the GE Vernova planting plan.
Second here?
Oh, that was.
Oh, you,
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous.
you'll be very happy about that. They follow up and pay attention to whether or not they get their tree council approvals too, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody
did.
River's Ledge. Yes, so we have looked at this one before. They have basically built out the site. They planted some trees in the front. If you guys have driven by, they planted this one here. They planted this tree, which we looked at and thought was okay. They planted some trees in here. What they haven't planted is the trees that are behind the shed. If you guys remember, we looked at it before, we gave them 4 notes. We were concerned about the downspouts just kind of going into nowhere. They have fixed those. They actually put corrugated plastic around them. They go right into the ground now. So the downspouts are fixed.
Laura, just orient us again, because I'm gonna be down there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So where is the?
This is the multi-use path coming through right here.
Oh, back.
So the rest of the
Okay.
set to the bottom?
So on the bigger one, so the dock, this is the parking lot. You know, like the docks are over here.
Okay,
This is
gotcha.
that long parking lot where then
Yes.
you can walk down the trail.
Yeah.
Here's all of the buildings that are built already, and that landscaping was approved, and they did a really good job actually with that. And then this blank spot here is the plan that I was just showing you where that brand new building is.
Okay.
They still need final approval from you guys. They did kind of plant these, hoping that it would be okay, but I don't think we've ever had any notes on that. The areas that we've had a lot of concern on is buffering the bike path. And so that's these, and we've asked for different species, clustered species, things that'll get tall and grow over and shade the bike path because it's kind of open there. The one thing that they did ask, because there's this one picture here. Oops. This is the area where they show on their plans to plant sycamore trees, and they just felt like that's not a big enough space to plant sycamore trees in. They're asking to be able to plant serviceberry trees in there instead.
I'm confused how that picture fits what we're seeing. Where's that house?
It's across the street.
Okay, I think I get it. Yeah.
Originally,
Where the rocks.
that's where they're planting them, yes. And they had sycamore trees, and they don't think that sycamore trees is that, but they're using them.
So they're gonna dig up the rocks. Now. Service area there.
That's
I
what
mean,
they're.
maybe you have an idea on why that.
Picture, I actually called him, because when he sent me the picture, I was confused. I was like, you are going to plant a tree there, you just don't want it to be a sycamore, and he said, yes.
One
Where
tree.
the rocks are.
One tree.
No, 3.
3.
Yeah.
Really?
That's kind of rough, 'cause there's not gonna get much water in there.
Definitely couldn't do 3 sycamores.
Well, I think, you know,
Who does the watering on that walking path?
um,
Now? So some of, a lot of, well, some are
it's kind of
not.
owns that, yeah. some
Oh, the
of
town
them-
owns
The
it.
paved path that they put in now that goes all the way down, I
Yeah.
just noticed that the other day when I was on the bike
Yeah.
trail.
Amazingly, it's only 1 or 2 trees that have died, amazingly. They haven't been lost. But yeah, that's around. I was actually thinking about asking them if they could ever water them. I don't know if they have a watering truck or not.
Did they plant it?
They did plant them,
But it's not town land.
but it's on town land. Yeah, all of the rhododendrons around the one pavilion have died. It's really sad.
So is there a plan to get rid of the rocks? How can we-
no, I think they'd probably just make kind of like tree wells inside of them, I guess.
Perhaps be better. And need a, I suppose it would it, is that a good place for trees?
Yeah, are trees gonna block the view of the stop sign?
That's
Yeah.
partly why they didn't want to do this. Yeah,
What if you just bushes,
Shrubs, yeah.
burning bush or something?
Not
So-
that.
Those are.
I'm sure they would switch. I think they're trying to honor the fact that we need trees, but I'm sure they would switch to bushes. You know, if we said okay.
I mean, the trees eventually
Especially out of-
grow tall enough so you could see stop signs.
the others.
The bushes are just gonna get worse, right, for a stop.
Some are like dwarf and they.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they're
Some of
them,
them, like,
yeah.
just get 6 feet. So.
Are they gonna?
I don't know.
That's essentially be the right of way. Property.
Mm, Town has an easement because this is a public parking lot if you wanted to get on the bike trail. Oh, really? Actually, the guys will, they have a maintenance agreement with us to take care of these things.
Okay, I was just thinking like the highway department will be the ones who'll be concerned about the stop sign block.
It's a private road.
Okay, yeah. It's,
Cemented.
Still, you didn't want to watch.
But you don't. Like, we want to advocate for street trees that are good, not the, you know, ones that people complain about.
Why would anyone think that was a good idea? What do you think that them? Then I'd like go down like in that quarter of the mountain or something, or never grows or.
I know that they do want they're actually kind of waiting for you guys to do a football thing. But I mean, you could defer it and go out and take a look at the site too, if you wanted to.
Isn't everything except that?
You could, and then we could just do a condense email and I could send to them what you guys think. You wanna do that?
But we can understand the point there that after reading the notion before, looks like the trees are still like in a straight line.
They are, yeah.
Care about that?
I've asked him that a couple times. There is a swale here and it drops quite significantly. And so I'm trying to have them make it into a triangle and it just keeps coming back like this. I think that it looks like there's actually more space between the edges of the garage and the bike path than there is. And when they go ahead and plant these things, there's probably realistically only room for, they may be able to, you know, like make them not a perfect straight line. But if you're there, there's already some very nice, I mean, there's some purple loosestrife, which is sad, but there's actually quite a bit of things that are growing in the swale there now. There's cattails.
Yeah, I saw the cattails.
There's maybe some things in there that are pretty nice in between the loosestrife.
It is pretty steep.
It is pretty steep. Yeah. I really have gone back and forth with them a lot too with their comments, and this is what they
They haven't said anything like we can't do it.
No, they've said they can't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It doesn't bother me too much, but
It definitely needs to have stuff back there because
What kind of trees are we saying?
yeah, so let me just go through that. I know we've checked the species before, which have been okay, but
River birch was one suggestion.
so they've got like
So those three rectangular areas that you were showing, Laura, those are like the garages that they have there? Okay, alrighty, okay.
yeah, and it's
Yep.
between the back of the garage
Yep.
and the bike path.
Yep, yep.
So they've got red maple, river birch, tupelo, sycamore. Some of the small, because we wanted a variation of heights. They've got
Mhm.
some red stem dogwood. Mm,
considering discussion, those of us doing the street tree master plan yesterday. Are we okay adding more red maples to our account?
I usually let them have some. then. People like them so much. Oh, but yeah. that's- So they still didn't take the tree lilac off yet either. 1, 2, 5. Highway spruce. White fir. Oh, he's actually trying to join the meeting. Oops, silly. The Louise guy. I was gonna go back to the email with our last 4 comments. Do you guys want to talk to him?
When's this guy?
Yeah,
If he's trying to join.
I'll call him. He did email and ask to join.
Oh.
I don't know if he'll still be available or not.
What's the interaction that? Do we have an ask or?
I mean, I guess we could ask him, I mean, we could tell him directly, like, take the tree lilac off and do you think you could? He's actually different than the guy that I've been working with. This is the son of the owner.
They don't have a review
I
right now.
don't know.
He's got something to say to that.
If he wanted to join, so maybe he's trying to make a case or something.
I'm probably trying to be responsive,
Mhm.
they're discussing it in case we had a.
Are there any trees on there except for the Japanese tree lilac that are not?
Spirea is kind of big.
That's the ones you're talking about. Cypress.
Well, it's not, there's a lot of not native, but then there's not things that are invasive.
Right.
We don't want the invasive, Spirea show up on invasive lists.
Hey, you? You know,
I have them spraying all over my yard.
So did I.
Yeah. Spirea, they're like this shrub like this, they have like the little pinky kind of
Yeah.
flowers on them.
They look pretty, really pretty.
Yeah, they do. Mhm. But they sprout everywhere.
Yeah, but this space, it's too low, wanna have them spread
Yeah,
on
that,
like.
yeah,
yeah, so their main asks on this plan are
this is none.
to replace the 4 sycamores with the service berry. They also, I'm here. This line of trees, so they just put in a multi-use path that goes from the bike path, which we were just looking at, down to the park, which we were just talking about, the
Mhm.
town. And it's lined with trees here that they haven't planted yet, and they did increase. But, oh, here he is. Whoa. He can probably explain it to you. Stop for a second.
Yeah, you had an opportunity to admit and it went away.
Well, back, maybe he had a second.
So what's on that row you were saying?
So yeah, so he asked for increased spacing. Because the old spacing was like something like 7 or 8 feet, and he said the trees would grow together. So they asked for increased spacing to,
What did you say? I don't remember what tree was there. Just put 'em in.
those are a mixture of hinoki, cypress, something, wait, I'll tell you, hold on. Oh, sorry. White fir, Hinoki cyrus, and Norway spruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. You give me one more second, I can find out. I thought it was another thing. It's up to you guys. Do you wanna go out there and look at it one more time, or do you wanna be generally okay with it?
What was your comment about those three species that were?
They're none of them close to native.
Oh, so why isn't
know
that, why isn't that the comment then? I mean, I think that this is your opportunity to make a suggestion. Not,
Okay, so our comments before were Japanese tree lilac is not permitted in this unit, it's on our invasive list. Try not to swap the river birch along the back of the shed. The trees along the back of the shed should not be in a line, they should be planted in groups. That's the one I've been going back and forth on them a lot, I don't feel like they can do.
Mhm.
Pollinator plants and shrubs should be planted closer to the swale, they also felt like the swales all grown in and they didn't want to mess around with it. And then address the drain pipes along the back of the shed, which they did do. So they did one, two of them, they don't think are doable, and two of them, it just looks like they didn't address.
Back to the doing different trees, I think, kind of. If they had all the same kind of tree in a line, or if they're different kinds of trees.
It's all,
Yeah.
so they have. a group from that.
And I think the spacing, it's very steep and it's really not that much space.
There's not as much space as.
You know,
So the staggering may not work.
yeah, it might not work. And then, so if they're doing like different types of trees along the line, then it might have the same effect as like staggering, I think.
Because they're different sizes and patterns and stuff like that.
But not native.
Yeah, so why
Yeah,
don't we say
suggest
that we
something.
want
Yeah.
them to put in trees that are on our list?
So those are
Yes.
native, right? Along the back, weren't they native? It was along the road, the other.
So-
Yeah,
River birch.
Most of them are. They've got the Norway spruce, which isn't native. Tupelo, yes. Crabapple, yes. River birch, yes. The Norway spruce is not. They do have some of that in there.
but not on the back, was it?
I think they do have
They
some
were
of the back. Yeah, they do have some. I emailed them again.
Yeah, another spruce. Red spruce. There you go.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, we're
Hello.
talking about Rivers Ledge right now, and I went into my email to look at your email and saw that you wanted to join. So actually, the Tree Council has a couple questions for you if you're
Sure,
available.
absolutely. Good timing, I guess.
Yeah, good timing. So one of the questions they had was, well, kind of the same question I asked you. You do think that you can fit trees where the stone is, just smaller ones? 'Cause
We
they're worried
do.
that- Okay,
Our only concern was, I think it was the sycamores were supposed to be there. And at full growth, we just didn't want them to impede on people walking on the sidewalk or people trying to park on the other side.
That much speaks for that big tree.
yeah, they kind of agree. They were worried that there's not even enough space for the serviceberry, but you do think the serviceberry will fit there?
We do. We believe so.
And you would just pull some of the rocks back and plant them there?
Um, Truthfully, I don't know if we would remove the rocks and put grass there, if we'd leave the rocks. I'm not 100% sure. I apologize. I don't have the answer. Do you guys have a preference on what you'd like to see?
I think we were just asking that you're gonna plant it where the stones are, not that you're going to install it on the pavement or like.
Correct.
dig up-
It would be where the stones are, in between the sidewalk and the blacktop.
And would they just be watered when the landscaping companies came? They would just water that because they won't be like sprinkled or anything, right? They'll just have to water them sometimes.
I I apologize, Laura. I don't know the answer to that one. What my father had plans to do there. I'm gonna assume that we would probably water them when they came to landscape.
Yeah, I think our question is right now, looking at it, we see all rocks and we're worried about planting serviceberry if they would survive. So you're gonna pull the rocks away in 3 spots to so there'd be more soil that these serviceberries could be
Soil
planted in.
underneath them.
And that's why, I kind of had the same concern as well. And that's why I questioned. I'm thinking maybe that, we did that as a temporary just so it looked, semi decent while we were in this process. And then I'm thinking maybe we would pull them out, or we'd do something different. If we did grass or mulch there or something along those lines, so that we do ensure that they survive.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. Mhm.
Just on our experience, for all the trees that you're planting, they have to get watered.
Mhm.
You can't just plant the tree and then think that when was the last time we had a real rainstorm here? You've got to water your trees. So just plan that for all of the trees that you're planting.
Especially these,
Yeah,
everything's impervious. There's a very little area there that rain can get into the ground,
Mhm.
right? So the tree will need a lot of water
For the first year to 2 years.
first 2 years and after, because it's very little, it's all pavement.
Absolutely, no doubt. We would, we certainly like to keep the property looking nice and keeping things alive, and our goal is to keep everything alive. And if we see anything, even on Rivers Ledge 1 now, if we see something is not alive or is dying, we replace it immediately.
Mhm.
So I think we're okay with the substitution. Yeah,
Yep.
so they're okay with the substitution to serviceberry. The second question we had was on the back here, there's and I think Brett and I had talked about this, but they're all still kind of in a line. But do we think that's because of the steep slope, or do you think that when you go and plant them, you can kind of make them a little more natural?
Well,
planted?
our intention, and even though Brett shows this, and you can kind of see it throughout the property now, we don't like the straight line, like you said, that's unnatural. Our goal isn't to make it look artificial. Our goal at least is, we're gonna stagger them in and out. I know at one point you were talking about clumping them together. Our the ideal situation, what we would like to do is be able to stagger them, make it look a little bit more natural. Clumping them together, I think in certain spots you may be able to achieve that look as well. So I can confidently say that we don't want to just put it in one straight line going down the back of the garages.
Yeah.
It's a tree.
Yeah, so this is actually an old comment and it wasn't addressed in this plan yet, that the Japanese tree lilac is invasive, so we wanted to swap that out with birch
Okay.
and river birch. And what was the other one?
There are other spruce trees.
I thought about the noise.
Yep, we certainly don't want to put any invasive trees. So, anything that's invasive, we would have to switch out.
So the side, it is shows up syphilis in New York. So
That's one of your shrubs.
shrubs.
But, you know,
I
seems
don't
like it
think
didn't
he
hear you.
I don't think he hears it.
You have to talk really loud in this room.
Go ahead, Matt.
There's concern about the spirea also. The spirea is invasive.
Okay. Yeah. Anything that's invasive, we certainly wouldn't want to put in there. I think we're very, very open to switching out trees that are invasive and doing something that's not invasive entirely.
There's also some trees that are not invasive, but they're not native. We like to put in native ones also. So what are the native ones that we're worried about?
So like
A lot of Norway spruce.
the spruce, and they're not native.
But
We would put another,
What would be a substitute?
Is the Norway spruce are not native, actually.
white spruce is,
White spruce is though.
so if you smaller cone, so it's less of annoyance.
So I'm not very familiar with the types and trees, and whether they're invasive or may not be, but, I certainly were open to switching to a native tree and a non-invasive tree. I would ask if it's possible, if maybe we could have a couple different options, or if you guys have a couple different suggestions or options that we could maybe choose from instead of just, one tree, so that, we don't have to go, come back again, or, we can kind of just pick from a list of options that you guys might like to see.
Sure.
It's similar size.
Sorry, our acoustics in here are pretty bad. So-
I truthfully, Laura, I think I'm only really being able to hear you. I'm having trouble trying to hear anything else.
Just talking about spacing out the trees along the new path that you made. So this part here.
Yeah.
I think we're okay with the bigger spacing so that they have room to grow. So it seems like everything you need is okay. The only comments really are to try and make the plantings more natural. And then if we can swap out some of the species to make them more native, we could give you a list of a couple of those in the end, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think I'm open to everything we talked about, and I have an idea of what we're looking for and what you guys are looking for, and I think we're right there. So if we can swap out some of those trees and make them non-invasive and native, a little natural on the more natural on the back side of the garage, I think we're in good shape.
Great. Nice.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say thank you to you guys as well. I appreciate your time and allowing me to get on, and thank you for allowing me to answer any questions and resolving this.
It was helpful.
Yes, excellent.
No doubt. I figured, I don't know if we've ever been to a tree council meeting, but I figured it might be a little bit more effective if I was able to come on and we were able to talk through some of this.
So then I would recommend that we do a motion with approval of the planting plan with the condition that the invasive species are removed and the tree council will provide a list of acceptable alternatives. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Excellent.
Does anybody want to make that motion?
I'll do it. I'll make my first
Okay.
motion. Did I do it? Am I done?
Claire?
Yep.
Move that we approve the plans, but subject to our providing alternatives to the invasive or non-natives.
Okay,
I
I
second it.
second, okay.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, do the rest of your task.
Okay, Christian, so, we'll send you a list of those, species that we'll like to see swapped out, but the overall plan was approved.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your guys' time. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
You.
Bye bye.
Well, that was great.
I saw that he was kind of.
I'm glad he was persistent.
So who's gonna provide the other suggestions for? Okay,
So can I make a comment about that too? Do you guys use like the AI and the chatbots and all that stuff? No? So, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I mean, it's so helpful. But anyway, so I was just looking at this and I could like take a snapshot of what their plan was and those trees they were saying and what and identified ones that were, you know, nuisance trees or potentially invasive or. But I don't know if it's true because we all know AI. Hallucinates.
Yeah.
But it did have. I mean, it doesn't supplant you for sure. But it did like it, so it said that the Japanese tree lilac, the Norway spruce, rose of Sharon, red stem dogwoods were problematic.
What is native? It's them, I'm not sure.
Red stem, it says like that, right? It said the osier is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I mean, I could send this around, or I could just say it out loud. So for Rose of Sharon, it says is really problematic. And some alternatives are swamp rose, mallow, buttonbush, and New Jersey tea.
New Jersey what?
New Jersey tea.
The shrub.
So that's what it's suggesting. You just
Yeah.
replace them.
It seems to be getting popular.
Yeah.
It likes it dried.
What's popular?
New Jersey teas.
Having a really
I like the spirea.
I had
It's like prettier white bottles.
to just say, so Sharon,
Oh,
they're every, the little plants are just every.
no kidding. And we gave those out at Harbor Day. That's what I'm saying. Who would even want one of these? Like, go to anybody's yard, you get that. Oh my gosh.
The tree lilac, it suggests serviceberry, black hog, viburnum, and eastern redwood.
Would it suggest a regular lilac?
Oh,
You know, the only thing with the lilacs lately, they've been getting, every year they get that black weedy thing and everything drops off of them and they look really, I think it's been 2 or 3 years in a row. So,
well, Serviceberry or Redbud is definitely.
I'd say put some redbuds in there.
That would
Nice
be-
to see some nice,
Redbuds, and you can get those very easily.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so
those would look pretty in there.
Yes, so those. New Jersey tea and the others, are those easy for them?
I think so.
Buttonbush and swamp.
But it not wet is the soil. The swamp, if they're small, I have some, but they like it wet. But because it's like it wet and then the Jersey tea likes it dry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it down by the swale? Where the shrubs are?
It's on the other side.
It's funny because it's very close to a swale that's wet, but it is kind of a hill, so it probably ends up being dry.
You're right about the stem dogwood. The Cornus alba is Asian. So that's one that we should take on.
So then change it to the red osier.
It's the AI. I'm just the best.
Bringing it to the table.
Yeah, I use it for everything.
So how do we want to do this? And with the suggestion?
Right.
Well, so far, it's just,
Mm.
just that the soil type.
Mm.
We don't know anyway.
What does it say for the Norway spruce?
Yeah.
It says eastern hemlock, eastern white pine, balsam fir.
So probably the only one that would work would be the white pine, but we could change it to the white pine. Do you have an opinion? I mean, I love hemlock, but I feel like we haven't been offering to plant the hemlock because of the lower development.
Yeah, just like.
Insect that.
Are any of these trees gonna provide shade over the
Sycamores
the
will.
trail though? Because, I mean, when you're riding on there, I mean, you really don't want the sun on you all the time. It's nice to have kind of like a canopy that, and the pines won't do that. Pardon me?
A few of the trees that they're putting there will have.
Will
some
that,
shade.
okay.
Well, red maples, sycamores, the tupelos, if they get big, it seems like every tupelo we plant really takes a long time to grow. I'm not,
We used to have those in Virginia. They would grow so.
really big
Oh,
and
yeah.
nice.
What about other spruces besides the Norway?
Oh, yeah, we should do the white spruce. Yeah.
Well, with our zone changes, pretty soon we're gonna have Virginia zone. So,
Well, that's.
because I read like zone 6 already or something. Zone,
That's, yeah, definitely something we should be thinking about, was trying to
right?
figure out trees that'll be. around 50 years.
Will be able to tolerate.
The plant was well trees, 50 years from now. Right.
Maybe not even 50.
I know, I know.
When
It's
we go
really-
down.
I 5 seed at 6, so you know, really short series.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are comfortable, you know, that, I think that motion is good, and then, like, maybe Cliff, you could email us what you just found and mark
Sure.
it, and I could double check it, and then we can email it to the contractor with the kind of final thing.
Be cypress.
Yeah, so we can dive into those a little bit. They do actually, I think most of their property sprinkled. So they don't lose a whole lot of plants, and it is actually quite beautiful. If you go in there, they have a fair number of trees. And you can walk along the path without even going through there, but nobody really goes to go through. Yeah, if you guys, I mean, they do have, feel free to walk around. You know, while we're making these comments, if you had any more comments.
So we still have these Glen Eddy on our.
Yeah. So,
That's done at 5:30 now.
yeah, sorry. So Trustco Bank, I put on there, the planning board is looking at it. I do not know of any suggestions. But if you are familiar with the area and you know of a tree that could use some love over there or something, we could mention it to them. It's right, it's right across from the co-op. Trustco Bank, right across from the co-op.
Are you talking about adding trees?
Adding trees, or if there's a diseased tree that we'd want them to take down, they're adding a new ATM. So we can't do big asks, but if there's a dead tree that we want them to remove and replace, or if it looks like there used to be a tree or there should be a tree, we could ask for a tree. Yeah, that's really just a walk by and see. Niskayuna Harbor, this is just keeping you guys in the loop. They just came back to the planning board with a new plan. This is their new plan. I asked them, this is directly adjacent to River's Ledge, but it's all forest right now. So they're gonna have to do basically like a tree survey and try to give us a sense of where the trees are in a clearing plan. He said that they understood that they would have to do that. They're not to that point yet. So it's really kind of just a heads up, but,
So this is closer to like Maxon Road and stuff.
yeah, so if you're driving past River's Ledge
Keep going.
and you keep going, it's forest, it's a big forest, so
Is it the same developer who did Rivers Ledge?
no.
Different developer?
What's going in?
Condos and townhouses.
So this is radical. This is the first time I remember a big development coming for us. They're gonna cut down a lot of trees. Do we have an appetite? Does this council, planning commission, whatever, have the appetite to say, you cut down trees in one place, you're gonna plant the same number of trees somewhere else?
That's what they say, if they're cutting down 12-inch diameter.
They're never gonna get those in.
Well, you could aggregate.
Well, that's in total diameter.
Wow.
Syracuse.
Oh,
Our tree plan requires, and we just started doing this, because I think it helps rather than us wandering around the forest. I know, yeah, is that they will go and actually mark the diameter of anything more than
It's 12, 10 or 12.
10
Right.
inches. They have to mark it on their plan. So we can see how many of the big trees they're taking down.
So we
the only-
trust them to do that.
that for the development on Balltown Road between PBS and WRGB,
mhm.
they essentially did a tree survey, anything over a certain.
I think it's partially. It's fully.
Well, and then what? So they're cutting down,
The code in place that Myers supports that. Our code requires them to mark them, and then we can look and see, and then we can see if there's something really important, then we have them shift a building or something like that. We do know that we will lose trees though, and then they would have to replant. I mean, we could certainly ask for that. Planning board.
Who would they change the code eventually? Could they be a recommendation?
Change the code. Our tree code's actually pretty strong. The
Mhm.
planning board would be the one that would enforce a condition where they would have to replant for every tree that they took
Mhm.
down.
So where would they
Plant.
plant the trees? Instead of your planted date?
Sometimes, yes.
they could hire an arborist to let us plant street trees on our list. Like they could basically supplant the highway department.
Well, augment.
What about the wetlands?
I like that idea though.
So there is a fair amount of forest that will be left. A lot of it though is wet.
Mhm.
So all of these gray areas wouldn't be cleared. The pond isn't gonna be cleared. There's actually this is the old Erie Canal bed. They're not proposing to clear it, it's just there.
I didn't get a good vibe.
So like if you're going out to Rivers Ledge to take a look at their planting, you could just drive by and take a look at it. And start thinking of things like what Jeff just said, and can bring it up at the next planning board meeting. Rivers Ledge was fairly simple because they actually didn't take down a whole lot of trees. There's no question that Rivers Ledge actually planted more trees than they took down because it was a junkyard.
Right.
This is,
So we should treat it differently.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
agreed,
yeah.
agreed.
It'd be on them.
Mhm.
This is gonna be, I have not been in that forest. Apparently there's a trail that goes kind of through it. Yeah, so I couldn't tell you what's in there, but this is, yeah, this is a big one, so.
So 1.2 acre pond in there?
You can see that from the bike path, actually. I've seen that pond. You can see this, you can just get glimpses of it through the bike path.
Have they started anything?
No,
No.
they just, it's a similar approval process to Rivers Ledge. And they have an issue trying to cross the bike path, so they're at the point where they're trying to get permission from New York State Parks to cross the bike path, which takes a while, but they've been working on concept and that's designs with the planning board, and the finally got to a concept design that the planning board was like, okay, we can work with you on this. It doesn't mean that it'll end up being exactly like this, but it does mean that we may start to see, like limits of clearing and start wanting to push for
Mm,
what we want to see there to protect trees.
mhm.
So that's just a keep in mind thing. And then the last one I put in here, I apologize. I do not know what the back of the Glen Eddy looks like in particular. And oops, but they are adding a new building in the outside area. I mean, I don't think they care too much if you drive by it and you see if there's any spot that looks like it needs a tree or something too. I think that's another one. It's a minor project, but we could probably ask for a tree or two if there's any one of them needed. It doesn't necessarily have to be behind the building. This is actually behind the building, but you know, even if you're driving down the driveway and it looks like there's.
So I'm sorry, they're building a new building or they just,
Pavilion, so,
A pavilion, okay.
yeah. Well, but this is the actual edges of the building where people live, you know?
Okay.
Right now, there's an open patio with some chairs out there, but they actually want to build a substantial like roof over it so that they can be outside in different kinds of weather, and then put out the nice furniture so that they can be in and out when they need to be, which is nice for them. So, I mean, overall, it's a really nice improvement to the site and it adds amenity for the people who are there. So, and Glen Eddy, Glen Eddy is actually great to work with. We really like them a lot.
So it doesn't involve taking down any trees, changing, so it's an opportunity for us to say, oh, let's plant some trees.
Trees. I'm not an expert on the Glen Eddy, so we could drive over and if we had any ideas. we could-
Is that backing up to console? Is that where that is? That edge? Yes.
Except it's behind, the front of the building's actually like down here off the beach. The building's like a V and the front of it is like, so, yeah, and then this is behind it.
Okay, great.
So this pavilion is not visible console.
It might not be a good one to ask for a tree, but I just,
What are all green things underneath the pavilion there? It's like,
those are like shrubs, I think.
okay,
I don't know.
there's some shrubs.
They do love their landscaping there. We have actually approved planting plants to the Glen Eddy before. That's all I have from the planning side.
Oh, that's a lot.
Mhm.
All right, so we got some good stuff about the highway department discussion. Eleanor, you guys have been liaising. And, his email. I like Jeff's letter and this AI letter, which is good.
It actually wasn't highway related. That's just a planting committee.
Oh, right, that's what you're gonna be sent to the residents, the people, right? Okay, yeah.
You know, I'm wondering on that, we just got one yet. We'll wait till we get there.
Can we get an update on the highway department liaison? We know you sent those letters, have we?
So
You sent three.
we have sent now 3 post-meeting recaps to Ray and Patty. And now I think we're copying Peter, Rebecca. So I did one, Tony did one, Jeff did one. So we have had no response to these recaps. However, the 3 of us met Tuesday this week to start talking about the fall planting. And when we left and we walked out, who was standing downstairs was Ray. So we said, hello, Ray. We've been talking about you. I knew you were. And he was great. And we just said, you know, we look forward to working with you this fall. We're getting ready to go out and stake some residents and then present our list to Laura, who will then present it to you or something like that. So,
He generally agreed with the timing.
yeah, he was good. He was good. They have to finish up some paving and then they're ready to go and they want to do the planting before the leaf pickup starts in late October. So when we sat down Tuesday, we have something like 17 residents that want a tree. They responded to the letter that Linda sent out to them. And we have their choices 1, 2, 3. Naturally, it's scribbled out on a piece of paper. I haven't typed it in. And then the tree planting committee is going out next Wednesday to knock on doors and
It's a stake.
to stake.
Oh, yeah.
So
we
these
need an
people have all-
update, please.
In the
Yes.
past, what we've done is we've knocked on doors saying, hi, would you like a tree? This time we mailed out and had them reply to us. So now we actually have homes that have made the effort to say, yes, I want a tree and here are the trees I want. So now all we need to do is just knock on their door. And our plan is if they answer the door, we'll say, where would you like your stake? And if they don't answer the door, we'll put the stake in the ground and leave the letter that basically says,
Right.
if you don't like it there, then reach out to us.
I was thinking that with that letter, we probably should take off where it says you requested a blah, 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 just because if that tree cannot, if we
True.
can't get that tree, then we have a piece of paper said you're gonna get a whatever,
True.
and then something else shows up in their yard.
Okay.
So,
All right.
all right,
just
just take that sentence out.
What streets is it?
So it's
Streets
streets,
like oldest unit.
it's streets like Barcelona, Myron, Valencia, Via Del Mar, Regent, and Ray Street, which I just added today. So that brings us up to 17 addresses. One home wants 2 trees. And then there's talk about putting a couple of trees in on Hillside Avenue at the bus stops and potentially a tree at River Road Park where they cut down the tree in a
Well, and they
circle.
cut down a few more at Blatnick.
Oh, yes, I saw them.
Oh, they
cutting
did?
them
I didn't
down.
know
So
about that.
it's, yeah,
Yes,
So
right
that
by the,
makes-
right next to the bike path.
yeah, so we could put a couple there too.
You know what, though,
The ones that we identified, I don't know if we ever said it, the highway department, when we were identifying dead trees, there were a couple by Blacknick and there are a couple by.
Yes. So that sort of came up in our conversation with Ray about the, who's maintaining the list and, yeah.
They maintain the list. We don't maintain the list.
yes.
Got that loud and clear.
Because they're out there cutting things down and so they have to mark the list and we can't control the list and so.
Don't really see it.
Yeah, well, yes, we asked for that 3 months ago and then 2 months ago and still no list appeared. So,
They can just put it, have it online someplace that you can access it, like at a Google Drive or something.
Trees he's behind.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's,
And I just looked at it, I was saying, me.
it's right.
Yeah. It's weird.
They pay, Mohawk Harbor will pay to fix our backup.
A plant for every tree they take.
Mosquito Harbor.
I'm in City Harbor, okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What about Tree City signs?
Not one word. We asked for it, we haven't heard it.
We didn't talk about anything other than the planting. Sorry, we didn't talk about the water truck. We didn't talk about all of our letters. All of our emails, the last 3 have mentioned all of those things.
We did, the signs have like a sticker that you put in a specific place in a specific way for the number of years. I had ran into him and said, please do that. Trish actually put the stickers on and got them even more ready to go. And we've moved them out of my office to a very obvious spot.
But where are they gonna go? Where are they gonna
Um,
go?
He had originally said that he thought he had some ideas for where they were gonna
Yeah.
go. I don't think that we've ever picked a particular spot. We do know, that one of you guys noted, there is a tiny sign on
Yes.
Route 7, like that's definitely.
Yes.
It's coming up the hill from the Aqueduct Circle.
Yes.
Which would be great.
Yeah,
Yes.
Balkan Road.
Yes,
But they're
agreed.
in the middle, upward, in a town center somewhere.
Oh, that would be-
Yes, I think that
We
would
have
be,
2
nice.
signs, right?
Yes,
There may be some issue with the sign up in a state right away, although I agree all time would be really nice and we have them on Route 7, which is obviously a state road. So but it would be, if we did town center area, that would be obviously a lot easier for them because they can kind of do what
You know,
they want and stuff.
that bank that's on the corner there between Knott and Balltown, whatever that, first, whatever. That's pretty bare there. So I was I know that we're kind of off topic here. We jumped all the way down to the tree planting, but we have to still talk about those 24 elm trees that need to be planted, that we're gonna go to the CBS, whatever. I'm wondering if we could get the bank to put some trees there and maybe put the trees on, that area there is bare, Look, if you drive that way on the way out, look at it. Yes,
Are we
that is,
getting the trees this year?
I still have not been able to make contact
oh,
with the lady, but I was just telling Chet, we actually have like money deposit with them, like they are
Yeah.
holding on to
Yeah.
some money.
Yeah.
So, either
Might do
they
us a
gave us.
favor if they're not delivering them this year.
Well, and they don't ever seem to mind delaying.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
Because the general consensus has been that they're just not putting the height on that they want. Like, we put a deposit down to get a certain size tree,
Right.
and they just haven't been growing to the point where, like, last time they delivered them, they gave us a little discount because they weren't quite as big as what we had put our deposit down for. I'll keep
That's
it.
big in planting, or they will get to a certain size?
No, they will get to a certain size, but they were small. Like, we lost 2 or 3 of them at Aqueduct Park because I think they're just mowed over. I didn't want that. But I mean, it's small enough that something happened to them.
No, Laura, the other, sorry, we're off. The only response we got to the last email to the highway department at all was from the comptroller, who
Right.
reminded us that we had $3,400 to spend. Is that sufficient? I don't know how much the trees cost. I mean, I don't want to go out and put 17 stakes in the ground and all this other kind of stuff and then say, you don't have enough money to buy all those trees.
Do them smaller.
I'd rather not do this. So, well, I mean, the ones that they usually put in are what, like 5 feet tall or something? They 5.
The one I got was like.
Oh, all right. So I mean, I don't want to put anything small, right? So,
So what I would need is, I mean, just kind of a summary of what you guys are estimating you can plant. And then I'll give it to Penny at Northern and she can give me a quote. And if it's way too high, we can go from there.
I think we had, a while back, Ray said that if that he could shift some money over.
Possibly, it depends on how many trees he's taking down too. Yeah, so I mean, I think I know the cost is always an issue, but what I'd say is we should give them a best case scenario list of what, maybe a couple houses will want 2 trees, so, just kind of a general, where we land with what was requested, and then I'll give that to Northern and see what she can do. He may not have, all of those, so we'll have to then adjust to the second choices sometimes and stuff like that.
And what about, we had that day of service within this, community
Mhm.
foundation, we planted some trees in the
Mhm.
park. Where these dead trees were taken down on River Road, Blatnick, could we have another little pre-planting and
Sure.
plant 5 or 6 trees?
Sure.
And that, that would be a one-time deal and it would be our group and.
In the pouring rain.
Ideally.
I mean, I was wondering if you were in that way and we know we could get them in because we could,
but
do it.
let's go back to the 17. I don't want to go around and put 17 stakes in the ground and then say we don't have the money to put all 17 trees in.
See you next one.
See ya.
Well, I'd say get the list to me, then. If
Do you
you
have
have,
the list as requested at the moment or after we do our staking next Wednesday?
Well,
Yes,
I
I
mean,
can-
it's gonna,
requested at the moment, that way I can get a sense of,
So I'll type this up and,
and you're just gonna give Laura the first choice of each person's first choice.
just first choice, second and third,
Okay.
and then by address, Barcelona. Here's 6 addresses at Barcelona, 2 on Myron, 3 on Valencia.
if you do that, I can take that and make a quick estimate and send it to Penny.
All right,
And would we,
Trees
know
range
that-
between 250 to 400.
now, see, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, we might not have enough for 17 trees plus 2 more because we're probably talking 20 trees.
I personally think that we should plant them at people's houses over parks, because we've done a lot of parks planting. It's just my opinion.
Also, to Tony's point in that if we're going to tell them we're going to treat this better, the park can wait.
Yeah.
Better
Oh,
than the person
exactly.
would. Yeah.
what we can do is the.
Yeah.
Hit the parks.
But
All right, so we're not gonna put anything in the ground until Laura tells us we have sufficient funds for those 17. I just.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, bad blood for people not getting their trees as it is, and you don't want to put a stake in there and then go back and say, oops, sorry.
Live.
We need $75 for it.
Yes. My little cup. Okay, so, you'll get that to her
Yeah.
and you'll let us know and then we'll go out after we get your. Okay,
Northern's pretty bad.
okay, all right, okay.
That's just anything crazy on the service area, red like dogwood.
You know what's terrible is like red maples are so cheap. Like you can get an 8-foot red maple for like $100. But you know, we
Right,
go for
dogwoods.
the dogwoods are expensive. I mean, the dogwoods are the most expensive of the trees that we buy usually. Yeah.
What else? is
I guess we
cheap?
should probably be, yes, maybe we should think about that the next time we offer.
So what about the
You can have
service berries? Are they expensive?
Or you,
Yeah.
No, strawberries aren't too expensive.
So
So-
like 5 dogwood requests as their number one choice, only 5 dogwoods.
okay,
It's a really good, it's a good mixed bag. So anyway, I'll type it up.
Yeah, then I'll send it
The steaks.
right over to everyone.
Oh, that stays. We need.
I just emailed them again. I asked the Burley, so can you send me the state, so I just emailed them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Actually, my tree doesn't need stakes.
Yeah, you
They
can plant it.
put in the ground.
just the prices are gonna go.
Yeah,
Oh.
the tree they planted, Jeff had got it planted in my yard, it still has the stakes.
Back.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
No,
We could, I could take the stakes and give them to you.
and that should be something I suppose we could tell people like after a year or something, states out.
Unstable.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
it learns to sway and make its way with the
It
wind.
would get stronger.
Yes, yeah. Aren't you more better with it? You can do this? Yeah, right.
Public Outreach Subcommittee. So, we've got 9 entries at the. Your deadline September 21st.
3 or 4 days before to say,
I'm a little disappointed,
you think so? Yeah.
you know, the picture that Carol put the thing together in this picture had a hammock. That was the idea, but really, no, the only one picture has something other than the tree itself. They have stories, and the one picture has a hammock, but it's a hard picture to see. So we're just getting pictures of trees with a story about how my kids love to play by this tree. But they're not showing the kids playing by the tree. So. The other issue is, I set up, I got to put the age bracket, so we don't know the ages of the submissions, the submitters.
Could you email that back? Cause
There's only 9.
It's only 9 so far, yeah.
are you in this range or this
Right
range?
now, we're saying that will be awarded an age category. I mean, we could go first, second, third, but we'd have to update our next email blast and say.
I would send the email out next week, because that gives them like a week or so to,
Email blast next week.
yeah, like the early part of next week. That only gives them a week.
Mhm.
And I did individually email every single person that's ever submitted a photo, because John gave me their email list. It took a couple of them bounced back, so there was 1 or 2 that bounced back, but like, you know, there was like 100 emails and like 90 of them. Just keep trying to collect them, and then at some point we should start pricing out what a calendar would be and how we think we could roll that out, because I think that would be really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People get really excited about that when I took. Good idea, Kara.
Yeah, I don't know how we, I only know like Shutterfly or there are other.
Yeah, I mean, we typically use the parcel, the knots, because the Knott Street office and do stuff like that, and they give us discounts and stuff because he's very supportive of trees and pesticide free and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Be nice to use them.
Yeah, they're really good.
One of the gifts for the
Yeah.
winter.
He's done gifts for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very supportive.
Look into it.
Mhm.
Just thinking of contests. the other day. And I, just because I walk around the neighborhood with my dogs, and lately it seems like there's just been all sorts of neighbors taking trees down. I don't know why, but, couldn't we have like a contest of tree planting? Person who plants the most trees or most
In their
plants per acre in their yard or something, and
Private.
yeah, and then, I don't know, as a way to get more trees planted. I know that's a big
Maybe that should be our spring
concern.
project.
Just with them in that way.
Well, I mean, there's even that whole thing that, what do they call them? Planting guilds or something, where you plant the tree and then you plant the shrub and then you plant the perennials or something. They all feed one another. I mean, it maybe could even be in that kind of context. Maybe we could see if we get that out to, I mean, that's supposed to be really good for the soil with all the stuff that communicates with each other.
Just ecology with those pollinator garden. And you could, sort of buy the plan. I wonder if like a landscape sort of architect would come up with like a tree synergy planting plan. And that could be something we could roll out and have people send pictures of it or something like that.
There's probably things online. I wonder if there's even, there's gotta be things online too.
Japanese meeting forest. Yeah. Well, they're talking about like, it's a couple of acres.
Any size.
Yeah.
5 acres.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
We were flooded in a lake. We planted 500 trees.
Wow.
We dug a hole and it's filled with water. Before you could get your.
Yeah.
But 500 trees.
But they could live.
Surprisingly, they're okay.
Hey, I think
They have watering.
Oh, they do.
They don't have a chat.
So I watered today at Flatnick Park and I'm happy to pass my buckets to someone else or in a few days to go hit them again. It's dry over there.
I've been watering these guys every day at lunch, but I didn't do it today.
You stop watering.
They should have just rained.
So I asked Ray or Patty or somebody, when do they turn off the splash pad? And they said not till October. And believe it or not, there was a little girl running through the mountains today.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the one spout that shoots the water out, that one was not operating. So I'm running around under the things with the buckets and holding buckets up like this. If anyone, Cliff, it's time as a new member, it's time we introduce you to Blackman Park and our trees and you were there, you planted them. Yeah, we'll go on a
Happy to do that.
watering expedition over there.
I was thinking you gotta get one of those hats, like if you're at this.
Oh, I have
like
one.
a funnelator.
Oh, no, I don't. The big, so one of the maple trees is browning and maybe losing leaves, and one of the crab apples is, but the other ones all look pretty good, but it's dry as a bone over there.
Like we talked about, like taking, like somebody does this week, somebody
Yeah.
does the next week.
Yeah, it's just shouldn't be everything.
Wow. And so what's today? Thursday?
And what about the water source in the building? Because Ray did say the other day, even if the splash pad goes off the water, but didn't you say that you couldn't find a thing outside?
It's like a faucet. So I don't.
But does it turn on? Can you get water out
I
of it?
think so, but that's for like washing your hands. I don't know how I'm gonna get the water out of the faucet over to my,
Right, we looked at
Buckets.
this too, and we couldn't figure out.
it's in the sink, I think. I don't see it.
Oh, there's nothing
Well, there
outside,
is a
there's nothing
faucet
outside?
But we couldn't get it out.
I think it
Well-
needs a special.
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
key,
key.
those are just usually, because we have one when we do the library over there, all it is like a little square thing that you put in and.
Yeah, but we don't have a key.
No, we don't. I don't have the key.
Jeremy told me when I asked him that you don't need a key.
So I will also admit that I've gone maybe twice into the police parking lot and backed in. And on the corner of the police building is a hose and a faucet. You turn on the faucet, here's the hose, and I can fill buckets up and then drive out the police parking
Oh, and
lot.
go put in water them at Blading Park.
Or here.
Yeah, or here.
So there's water there. And you know, if you want to drive around with buckets splashing in your car, but it's water. So Cliff, let's exchange phone numbers and maybe early next week. And we were supposed to get a tiny bit of rain Sunday and Monday, but I mean, early next week, we should go back and Blatnick and hit those trees again. The other thing is, you know, the mulching around them. I sort of thought about this, like, geez, this isn't our job, but it would be nice to do like a proper, just do a little quick edge around there and put some mulch, because when you pour the water on the, it's so hard, you know, water says,
I can, sometimes I just bring over an extra bag of mulch.
well, maybe, yeah. But there's like no rain in the foreseeable future. Yeah, it's not good for tree planters.
Trees, the dormant. Yeah, so what time do we say we don't need to water them anymore? October,
Yeah.
mid to late October?
Yeah, I
Depends on how warm.
we keep watering until they
Yeah.
get the water all over there,
Color.
at least over there. Anyway, let's do it, Clint. I've got the buckets. I need the muscle.
Exactly.
Buckets.
But rather than you doing it all by yourself and then that's all by yourself, at some point send an email, say, hey, who you take
Well,
over?
again, we.
Okay.
So it's
Oh, okay.
not like the drive across town, but,
And like my schedule is really stabilized, so I can water these ones. I don't think you guys need to water these ones.
that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. They all, they're
Yeah, at my lunchtime, it's like I'm getting my steps in.
We're doing the Aqueduct Park one.
Yeah, with rowing.
Yeah.
So really, it's just a Bladnick.
Okay.
Well, there's an update on the tree master plan. We actually met yesterday and are meeting again tomorrow. And we are very, very close. We keep saying that, but I think we are. I think tomorrow our goal is to get through the final comments. And then what's the next step for?
Yeah, so then I think we should share it with the supervisor in the highway department and just make sure that all of that's okay. And then I think we do a presentation at the town board and request adoption.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna integrate it into the comprehensive plan too.
Could that, it might be too late in the process, but could the master plan say, have something about a recommendation along the lines of what Margaret and Jeff were talking about before with diameter of trees?
Where's the diameter?
Like we recommend that the town code be changed.
We don't have it,
No,
But we could.
but shouldn't it really be in the tree code? That's where it's enforcement.
Yes.
But it has to start somewhere.
I mean, we can revise the tree code, and then we just need it.
Send it to the town board.
is it,
Yeah.
is it best political approach to just suddenly throw it in the thing without saying, this is a big change? I mean, I like the idea, but I'm just worried that the town board's going, whoa, wait, what is this? There was no discussion of this before.
Guys, this is a talk I saw, the guys from Syracuse
Yeah.
said, you give a developer, you know, this is your upfront cost,
Yeah.
they're fine with it. If you nickel and dime at the end saying, put this here, this
Yeah.
here, it wasn't in their original plan, then they get really pissed off. So he said the developers had in Syracuse, no resistance at all to this replace inch
Yeah.
per inch.
I'm worried about the town board being shocked by this.
Well, if
So maybe
they know that developers won't care.
discuss it with the town board before we put it in the document. Better to have the document and then that's the way to put it.
But isn't that like best practices though? So I mean, if that's best practices, that would be.
I think we could make the case. I think.
So do
Yeah,
you
all
think
these-
it's best to put it in the tree management plan, just the strategic plan, or put it in the tree code?
Because then when you're talking about adopting the tree code, you referenced that it was one of the items that was
But-
in.
Is it the most radical thing on our plan? What else in the plan would we want? John's concern. valid.
Yeah, I'm just picturing people at town board being thrown off by something they didn't know was
We
being
can make that as a
discussed.
suggestion. The arborist, you
Yeah.
know.
It could be say, like Miss Una, you know, really loses something when the forest is taken down. And so like a stronger language in our code to more offset that loss should be explored.
Yes.
Then you can go to the.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That down.
the-
And remind them that our canopy's been decreasing for development because of development. Just to address that issue. Yes.
But we could make it a little more explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess that's it, right?
Oh, do we wanna pick which person would send the summary to the highway
I
department?
think it's my turn.
Okay,
So
so yeah,
it's gonna be really short and really sweet. It's gonna be like a paragraph that,
Okay,
you know,
and I did just send them an email saying, can we have 20 states?
find your email from the last one so I can grab their email addresses.
Right, and don't forget, you need to add the comptroller. She asked to be CC'd on all future.
And the town supervisor.
Yes, she got the last one. She was the one who obviously must have sent it to the comptroller. So,
And it's an election. Karen Parks. E, C-A-R-I, C Parks. Yeah, C Parks it, and it's one of those.
Works like Peter.
Yeah, just like that.
So I'm going to find her email or her name.
well, we have the email that I forwarded that she said,
I'll find
thanks
it
for the
somewhere.
feedback,
Yeah.
All
how
of,
much money.
all of our emails are just our first, the letter of our first name and then our last name. At Miss Dina's paragraph. Close to that. You
And
can
you gotta-
actually send it.
And you're gonna mention the signs too, Chet?
I don't know. I don't want to overwhelm those guys. I
can
want
mention
trees
the
in the
sign.
ground.
I'll mention the signs next time I see them. I'll.
That should
look
be
up
an
the
easy-
dates and the signs.
Ray was okay with like a number of like 17, 19. The meeting we had, he didn't want to go above 5.
Oh, did we give him a number? I guess we did.
We said it, but we said about 20 trees.
I think we'll do.
And we said we were gonna get them out there quickly so then he could use the time
Exactly.
to whatever worked for him.
Yeah, if we get that timing right, I think
Right.
it's really helpful.
Yes, yes,
To get that timing right.
yes.
Well, I'm packing things up. That's kind of exciting. What are you?
Wait, your name was.
Carol made a
Okay,
motion,
okay.
Amanda seconded. All in favor?
Aye.